Today is Friday, August 25th. We have updates about former President Trump's trip to jail, his mugshot now circulating online, and the new investigation into the prosecutor behind the latest charges. Plus, why this weekend's SpaceX launch with astronauts on board is the first of its kind. What action you need to take today if you're one of the millions of people who could get money in a settlement with Facebook. And the easy way to see any movie in the theaters this weekend for just $4. Those stories and more in today's episode. Welcome to The Newsworthy. All the day's news in around 10 minutes. Fast, fair, fun, and on the go. I'm Erica Mandy. Thanks so much for being here. You ready? Let's do this. It was another unprecedented moment in American history. The first former or sitting president to have his mugshot taken. An image that will follow former President Trump for the rest of his life and beyond. Of course, that mugshot was taken as Trump was booked into an Atlanta jail in his fourth criminal arrest so far this year. In the photo, Trump has a serious expression, a suit jacket, and his signature red tie. But he was not in jail for long. In fact, he was in and out in 20 minutes after paying his $200,000 bond. As you know, the latest case accuses Trump and his allies of conspiring to reverse his 2020 election loss in Georgia. And yesterday's booking marks only the start of a long legal battle ahead in that state. It's a complex case, made even more complex by the fact that there are 18 co-defendants who were charged along with Trump, including allies like Rudy Giuliani and Mark Meadows. The district attorney in the case has asked the court to start Trump's trial as soon as October, but it is expected to be delayed. As Trump left the courthouse, he told reporters once again that he did nothing wrong, and he called the case a travesty of justice. Then the former president used the occasion to mark his return to X. Of course, the last time he posted it was called Twitter, and it was just 2 days after the Capitol riot back in 2021. Well, this time, Trump posted a photo of his mugshot with a caption that says, quote, "Election interference, never surrender," and then a link to his website. Though as a condition of his bond, Trump won't be able to use X or any other platform to criticize any of his fellow defendants or potential witnesses. So far, though, Trump has mostly been criticizing the prosecutor in the case, Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis. Meanwhile, in Congress, the Republican-led House Judiciary Committee opened an investigation into Democrat Fani Willis over whether her charges against Trump are politically motivated. The lawmakers are asking Willis if any federal money was used in her state-level investigation or if she coordinated with the Justice Department. Plus, they requested she turn over a series of documents. For now, the DA spokesperson says they won't be commenting on the investigation, though in the past, Willis has denied working with the Justice Department and has said she is not being motivated by politics. So, to be continued. Maui County is now officially blaming Hawaiian Electric for causing the deadliest American wildfires in the last century. So it's suing for damages to help the island rebuild. Federal officials are still investigating the exact cause of the Maui fires, but some videos do appear to actually show power lines starting them. And now Maui County accuses the electric company of two major failures. One, not properly maintaining the electrical system and power grid. And two, not powering down equipment even when the National Weather Service issued a red flag warning. Hawaiian Electric says it's disappointed Maui County filed a lawsuit while the cause investigation is still underway. And the company's CEO stood by the decisions made ahead of the fires, saying cutting power would have required coordination with first responders and that it could have posed risks to vulnerable people with specialized medical equipment. Remember, a separate class action lawsuit was also filed against Hawaiian Electric for similar reasons. At least 115 people died in the fires, and there are still hundreds listed as missing. The FBI and Maui County Police are still working to track down as many of them as possible. And it's starting to look more like the Russian mercenary leader who died in a plane crash this week was in fact assassinated. A few different news outlets are citing unnamed American officials who apparently told them at this point, intelligence points to a bomb that exploded on Yevgeny Prigozhin's plane. The Russian government says it's formally investigating the cause of the crash. But there is growing suspicion around the world and in Russia that Russian President Putin may have been behind it as an act of vengeance for the armed rebellion that challenged his rule earlier this summer. Putin spoke about the crash yesterday, and Prigozhin specifically, calling him a man of difficult fate who made serious mistakes in life. Though Putin also credited him with making a significant contribution to the fighting in Ukraine. Ukrainian President Zelensky also commented on the crash, saying, quote, "We have nothing to do with this. Everyone understands who does." The Pentagon is now getting ready to train Ukrainian pilots here on American soil. The plan is for them to get here next month, then go through several months of training. So it will be a while before the F-16s are actually sent to battle. Remember, Ukraine has been asking for fighter jets for a while. And earlier this week, Denmark and the Netherlands committed to actually sending them over the next several years. They're leading the training. And the U.S. is going to support the allies, even though some top U.S. military officials have cautioned the F-16s probably won't be an immediate game changer on the battlefield. Tomorrow is Women's Equality Day. It marks the day 103 years ago now that the 19th Amendment was officially certified, giving American women the right to vote. It took Congress another 50 years to actually designate August 26th as Women's Equality Day. But now a lot of Americans celebrate by volunteering or donating to women's causes, registering to vote, or learning more about the women's rights movement. We have much more news for you coming up, but first I want to let you know about our sponsor, Honeylove. Whether you're preparing for a wedding or other event, or just want to feel great in your everyday, Honeylove has the shapewear and beyond for you. And I'm speaking from personal experience. I have the best-selling Superpower shapewear from Honeylove, and I am so impressed by the fit and the effectiveness of this shapewear. Honeylove's targeted compression technology actually distinguishes between areas where you want more support and the areas you need less compression. In fact, our executive producer, Emily, has worn Honeylove even longer than me, and she said it best. Instead of just flattening you like some shapewear, Honeylove pulls in the waist without suffocating the rest of you. That's why she chose it for her wedding day, and we both choose Honeylove from now on. And by the way, I'm also a huge fan now of Honeylove's leggings. The Legging 2.0 are my new go-to for working out, running errands, working from home, travel, and more. They give this amazing, smooth and sleek look, and they're really comfortable. So treat yourself to the best shapewear and leggings on the market and save 20% off at honeylove.com/newsworthy. Use our exclusive link to get 20% off honeylove.com/newsworthy. For the first time, astronauts from all of NASA's foreign partners are catching a ride with SpaceX to the International Space Station. There will be astronauts aboard from the US, Europe, Japan, and Russia. They're set to leave from Florida tomorrow and arrive at the ISS on Sunday. Then the previous crew that's been working on the ISS since March will take the spacecraft back down to Earth. NASA officials say everything looks all ready to go for this weekend. The launch is set for very early tomorrow morning, 3:30 a.m. Eastern. Overall, this is the 43rd launch from the Space Coast so far this year. All but 2 have come from SpaceX. It looks like fewer children are getting their routine back-to-school shots these days. The CDC says the share of kindergartners in the U.S. who have gotten vaccine exemptions has nearly doubled from 2012 to 2022. Though overall, the rate is still pretty low. It went from 1.4% in 2012 to 2.7% in 2022. These vaccinations are the ones meant to reduce the spread of childhood illnesses like polio that, because of vaccines, have mostly been eradicated in the U.S., and they're generally required before attending public school. Though kids can also get exemptions for medical and, in some places, non-medical reasons like religious or moral objections. The CDC says the state with the highest kindergarten shot exemption rate is Idaho, where nearly 10% of kids are exempt. Anyone in the U.S. who has had a Facebook account in the last 16 years is entitled to a piece of a settlement over privacy violations. But if that's you, you better hurry. Today is the last day to apply for your share of the payout. This all goes back to the case of political firm Cambridge Analytica accessing nearly 90 million Facebook users' personal info without getting consent. Overall, the settlement is worth $725 million. And the lawyer who brought the original lawsuit says that makes it the largest class action settlement of its kind. It's not clear how much each person might get from this settlement, since it really depends on how many people submit claims and how long each person had their Facebook account. But CNN estimates it could be about $37. You can make a claim now on FacebookUserPrivacySettlement.com. 2 competitors in the fast fashion industry are now joining forces. Sheehan and Forever 21 both have a strong following of young shoppers and a reputation for trendy clothes and accessories at pretty low prices. But they have been reaching their customers in different ways. Sheehan sells its merchandise online, and Forever 21 is mostly known for its stores in American malls. Now, some of Forever 21's dresses, jeans, shoes, and other merchandise will be available on Sheehan's site. And at Forever 21 stores, Sheehan says it's going to test out a few new approaches, like having mini shops inside the larger stores or letting customers make returns in person there. So far, the exact financial terms of the deal have not been released. But we know Sheehan has acquired a third of Forever 21's operator, Spark Group, and Spark Group is getting a minority stake in Sheehan. Sunday is National Cinema Day, and in celebration, most theaters in the U.S., including the leading chains like AMC and Regal, are selling tickets for just $4. That's for all movies, in all formats, and at all showtimes, even IMAX. In case you haven't been to the movies in a while, that's a pretty great deal. The average cost of a movie ticket in 2022 was about $10.50, though it could mean some crowded theaters this weekend. This is the second National Cinema Day, and last year, more than 8 million people decided to take advantage of the cheap tickets, making for the highest attended day of the year for theaters. That's it for the main news today, so now it's time for Feel Good Friday, when we bring you one extra feel-good or positive news story before the weekend. But first, a quick break for our sponsor. AG1 is a daily foundational nutrition supplement that supports whole body health, and it has become part of my everyday. I drink it each morning. I actually first gave AG1 a try because I too had heard about it on other podcasts and was really intrigued. So I tried it, and I reached out to partner with them because I find it really beneficial. So here we are. AG1 makes me feel that I'm covering my nutritional bases with a science-driven formulation of vitamins, probiotics, and whole food-sourced nutrients. It supports my energy, focus, immune system, gut health, and more. And I'm not the only one who thinks so. AG1 has helped millions of mornings begin on a healthier foundation. And you're getting all of this for a lot less money than if you took all these individual supplements. Each serving of AG1 costs less than $3 a day. So if you're looking for a simpler, effective investment to your health, try AG1 and get 5 free AG1 travel packs and a free 1-year supply of vitamin D with your first purchase. Go to drinkag1.com/newsworthy. That's drinkag1.com/newsworthy. Check it out. Okay, now back to Feel Good Friday. Here's the story of a teenager who's helping animals get adopted, one bow tie at a time. 16-year-old Sir Darius Brown has been helping pets stand out at shelters since 2017, when he first visited an ASPCA shelter in New York City. At that time, he had already been making bow ties for people and often got complimented on them. So he figured they might get animals more attention as well. And he was right. The ASPCA says the very first batch of donations helped a lot more animals get adopted than usual. So since then, Brown has created more than 6,000 bow ties just for cats and dogs. And he's created his own pet accessories brand called Bow and Paws that donates a bow tie to a shelter animal for each bow tie purchased. Brown has also been raising money for shelter pets on social media through his Possum Mission. It's generated more than $300,000 in donations so far. He says he's just happy to do his part, and he wants to encourage more animal lovers to consider adoption. All right, we'll be back tomorrow with our special edition Saturday episode. Did you know a cyber attack or data breach at a U.S. school happens on average every school day? Our guest expert this weekend breaks down what schools and parents can do now to help stop these hackers and protect children's data. Then we'll be back on Monday with your next news roundup. For now, thank you so much for being here and listening, and have a great weekend.